All right, bam. We're live. Welcome, folks. All right, we'll get started here in a second. All right, now we're set up. Welcome. Hey, Brandon. Welcome. Let me know where you're from if you're new to this place. We're going to get talking about some remodeling. Welcome. All right, so we're talking about remodeling. Let me know where you're from. You have any questions? My name's Mike. I live on the East Coast. And hey there, Justin. I'm seeing your messages. And it's all happening at the same time, my man. You're killing it out there, Justin. So that it's pretty exciting to see the posts. And man, I'm excited for you. Give your wife a high five, a big hug, all the things. I mean, it's pretty amazing to have somebody that helps out like that in your life, and be very thankful. So that's really cool that she's on board. You guys, good things are going to come of that. So, all right. Well, listen, you make sure be on hands free and all the things. Don't just pay attention to driving. Okay, just make sure you can listen. That's all. I'll talk about if you're doing social media ads, you're gonna like this. If you can listen for just a couple minutes, I'll run through it quick. All right, brother. We'll see you in a few. Yes, sir. Thank you. All right. So look, social media is like a buzzword. Everyone's like, I got to have an ad on social media. I got to have, social media ads. Yeah, there's a lot more to it. You're just wasting your time, your money, your energy, other people's as well, if you don't understand what you're putting into the ads. Okay. It's kind of like building a wall. If I throw somebody a couple 2x4s, I throw them a pressure treated 2x4, I throw them some screws, some nails. Do they know which components go where, or do they just build the wall haphazard, right? If you're building in a basement, you got to put a pressure treated bottom plate, right? So you have to use a special nail for the bottom plate and attaching to the studs. And typically you don't use screws when you're building a wall for framing, right? So I say all that because social media and advertising is the same way. If you're just putting together some random ass ad and you hired some agency to spend a bunch of money and throw ads out there, it could be all backwards, upside down. You don't even know. So there's a method to the madness on how social media ads work, and I'll break it down for you pretty quickly here. All right, let me share my screen for people watching on YouTube, and then we'll break this down. All right, so here's the screen share. All right. Welcome, guys. If you're new, let me know where you're from. All right, here we go. So a lot of guys are like, why am I losing money? Why aren't my ads working? I tried that once. Well, it takes a lot more than once. That's the first thing you got to understand. Algorithms on social media build and learn off of frequency and consistency. So if you're just putting an ad here and there and not running, it never really learns to build to the proper audience. So that's one thing to understand. All right. Now, how about this? If you're scrolling late at night and you see things on the feed and it looks like, man, this other contractor's doing really good on social media, but you're not pulling in the right type of client or the right project on your leads, it's because of the way the ads are set up. And follow me here for a minute, right? Homeowners that have good budgets, they want to be talked to in a certain way, and they're at different stages in the process. Some of you guys are attracting the homeowner that's in the I'm not sure what I want phase, and that's the tire kicker. There are other homeowners out there that they know what they want. They're ready to hire the contractor to build, but your ad might not be attracting them because of the way it's being languaged. And there's a whole psychology breakdown. There's a whole process. If you hire a high level advertising agency, they know the 5 stages. You're going to run a series of ads for each stage so that you can attract customers at the various buying phase that they're in. All right. So just understand there's a method to all this. See, social media is not optional, right? Right now, if you want to grow, it's going to be like the front line, and you have to use it intentionally. All right. So what we have to look at is this. They've There's been a lot of research that guys are doing. And here's the thing, when you start doing digital stuff, everything can be tracked. So this data is the most accurate that it's been, and it's more accurate than they can find for other forms of advertising. It's what makes digital marketing so powerful when you get it right. So you have to look at it this way. A big thing you want to do is build trust with your audience, right? And that's how you generate qualified leads. Some of you guys, the leads that you're getting, you're the price checker. The homeowner has decided they want to hire somebody else. They see your ad and they're like, I'll bring out Joey to price check who I want to hire, right? And that's why you're not getting the job, because of the way your ad is communicating to them. They're like, they're going to use you as the price checker. That's not the ad that you want to be putting out there. You want to be the premium contractor that the homeowner wants to hire and let them price check, against you with the competition. Does that make sense? All right. So if your social media is just like some pictures and some captions, you're leaving a lot of leads out there on the table. Welcome. If you're new here, let me know where you're from. All right. Welcome, Donald. Appreciate you stopping in. We're a little late tonight. Got a lot going on my part, time zone. But I got to get these in every day. So here's the deal. If you want to be in the remodeling business and you're going to use social media and you want to pull the premium clients, you got to choose the platforms where your ideal customer is. Okay. Not every platform is going to be good for you. You'll notice I'm on different platforms and I have different levels of success, and my ads can vary depending on which platform I'm going on, and the campaigns change. Publishing content, the content that you put out there has to speak to the homeowner that you're trying to attract, right? I go after high quality, design forward thinking, trustworthy people, homeowners that want to hire a professional, not like Chuck in the truck, as they say. You use social media as the lead machine. All right. Every post is consciously moving homeowners to the next phase in their buying process and their buying decision. All right. So you pick your platform and then you pick your audience. We've gone over how you build a client avatar. You understand the demographics. We've talked about your unique selling proposition, right? Your message. We've talked about building a headline, the ad copy. Now we're going to get into the style. Okay. So you want to create content that attracts the premium client. So there's certain visuals. You have transformation stories. You talk about your process, right? How we took care of all the problems. That's what homeowners on the high end are looking for. And you use a little bit of some organic and paid and some engagement to bring it all together. So you have some paid posts and you have some natural posts that you're putting in on, you're updating your account. All right. So how is it that you attract the homeowners that value quality over price? It's a good question. I'm glad you're asking. You let your feed pre-sell and you let Meta find it for you because of the way you're messaging, right? So reduce your reliance on trying to get cheap leads. That's not what we're going after right now. Hey, Wilson, welcome. Let me know where you're from if you're new here. A homeowner that sees your post and thinks, damn, that's the desire that I want that transformation for my house, right? Remember, I talked about the importance of showing the transformation of the process. You want to show the ugly and how the mid and how you got it through to the beautiful, because they're going to call you because they want that transformation for themselves, right? There's a difference between that and putting an ad that says $500 off the next kitchen. That attracts the price checker, the cheap person. All right. So social media isn't just about what you've done, but it's about pulling in people and bringing them over so that they'll be part of your next bid. Here's the AI prompt that's important. You're a marketing specialist for a premium remodeling business. Hey, Jesse, welcome. Let me know where you're from. You're targeting homeowners you name the area that you're targeting, the county, the town, the neighborhood, the housing development, whatever it is. You state what their household income that you're looking for. And then what is it that you're offering? Like, is it a high-end kitchen remodel, a bath remodel, holiday lights, whatever the service is? Each ad is specific to one service. And then you're going to want it to create a campaign of 10 ads. And you're going to speak directly to the homeowner's fear of hiring the wrong contractor. You highlight the end outcome, which is a beautiful project, a flawless process, you taking care of all the details. It's called a transformation narrative. That's what you're going to use. You include trust signals, your process, your guarantee, your before and after, your satisfied clients, your referrals, right? Your list of amazing clients that are in your Rolodex now. And you end with a strong call to action, something around design, book your free, some sort of a consult, right? Get a planning guide, things like that. You don't talk about free. You don't talk about estimates. You talk about something that's going to help them make a buying decision. Hey, user 481, welcome. Let me know where you're from. All right. All this is going to be written in a human conversational tone, and you're going to keep the caption to 120 or less words. Now, that's all important, right? Because there's 5 stages of awareness that you need to be cognizant of. The completely unaware person, the problem aware person, the solution aware person, the product aware person, and the most aware, right? These are the various stages. Okay, so how does that break down? Some homeowners are going to see an ad and they weren't even thinking about remodeling. Boom, you've triggered their interest. They're like, damn, I should get a new kitchen. They're not ready to buy yet. That's okay. The second type of ad you put out is the problem aware. Those are for the people that are sitting there, they're frustrated. They're like, this kitchen is not working for me. They have frustration and pain. They're not certain yet what they're going to do. Now, then you have in the next stage, there is the solution aware homeowner out there. This is the one that's in their mind is saying, God damn, we need to remodel. Now, who do we call? Who are we going to get this? We are getting our kitchen remodeled, but we don't know who is going to do it. That's the solution aware person. They know they need to hire a remodeler. And then the product aware, that's the one they go, yeah, we've heard of you. You were referred to us, but we're not sure you're worth it. That's the one that's going to hit you up with some price issues depending on how your sales process goes. Okay. So those are the stages. You have to understand how your ads are going to blend to bring them so that you can attract homeowners through the various stages of their buying process. All right. Hey there, Jay Allen. Welcome. We're a little late tonight, as you can tell. 40 messages. Damn. Yeah, man. Cool. So I was just going over some things about social media and advertising. Have you? I don't. I don't think you've been trying much of that, right? What's going on for you? How was your day? What project did you wrap up today, there, Jay Allen? That's right. Filtration systems. Very cool. That goes smooth. All done. paid, satisfied customer? Did you get a good did they write a recommend like a good Google review for you? Yeah, so go Jay Allen was putting in I believe correct me if I'm wrong, Jay Allen, this was a whole house filtration system, correct? You're putting it in at the probably before the water heater, right at after the main, I would assume. All right. Well, at the well on the garage. Very cool. All right. Yep. All right. Well, some guys are like that. Too bad you couldn't get a nice review out of it, but as long as everything else went well, you're doing all that you can with a guy like that. Well, good job. Congratulations. Glad you finished the week with a good project. Yeah, that's awesome. As I say, another satisfied client. You could joke with him. You could let him know that since he didn't write you a Google review, he's got to find like 10 neighbors to recommend you to. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. Go. Yeah, you gotta. You never know. Exactly. Make them pay more if they can't do a review. I mean, you can joke with people about all kinds of stuff. If you find what's important to them and you hang it out there and dangle it, people will do crazy things to get something for sure. So, yes, for sure. So, but as long as you have some reviews and you've got, you don't have to get every single one. Yep. Yeah, you want to make sure that they pay. So, very good. Mm. So, let's see. Yeah, for sure. He didn't have his wallet. There's an extra fee for that one. The old I left it. Yeah. Hmm. All right. Well, do either of you have any questions or anything that like you're curious about? Look at that. He pays it for you online. Now we got to get that Google review from this guy. Nah, that's good. I'm glad you got paid. Yes. Do you use do you have them pay you through like the Venmo or do you use a how do you have them pay you, Jayon, when they pay you online like that? Do they go right through your software? That were you telling me you might be on Jobber? House call. Does it pay okay, does he pay you right through that with his credit card or his bank? He just transfers the money over? Yeah, exactly. Yes. Very cool. All right. And what do they hold that? About 3 days typically? Yep. Oh, you get yours shows up instantly. Okay. Very good. I wonder if that is because I wonder if he was paying through his bank account as opposed to a credit card. You don't pay an extra fee to get those funds immediately, do you? Some services will charge you. So you're paying a little bit extra to get the funds immediately? Fair enough. Yeah. I was gonna say, I think most companies, that's pretty standard, I believe now, if you want immediate cash flow. Yeah, it might be an option if you have a good local bank. Um, it might be something to consider for sure, and then link it to your process. Checks get mobile deposited. Okay, very cool. Yeah, I'm assuming. Okay, yeah, a local credit union can be a very smart move. I definitely recommend you work with a local bank when you're as a small business in an area. I would stay away from all the nationwide chains personally. I think you'll get a lot more flexibility. It leads to a lot more networking opportunities with a local bank. The branch managers of these banks, they usually have somebody that helps opening up accounts for all these other small businesses. So it's a good way to network with the branch manager. Every now and then stop in the bank, bring them something, and you never know. You should be their most favorite plumbing service provider or their most favorite handyman provider in the town. Okay, next day is good. So, oh, very good. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I mean, if you're with a big nationwide branch, I would consider it. All right. Again, I'm just speaking from my own personal experience. Um, you might have a really good community branch or something that's like regional to your area. Like I'm with a bank that's it sponsors our football team in our area, but it's not nationwide. They're local. They're a local bank and they have lots of locations. But you get a lot more flexibility and you get a lot more networking opportunities. Like I'll get invited to events by because I have a business account with them, right? So if they're sponsoring something at one of the sporting events, and it's a good chance to go network with a lot of other small business owners. They're usually a part of like chambers of commerce in your area. That networking, that's where I believe that's the benefit of being with a more of a local bank, in my opinion. Yeah, yeah. Look, I'm not like if you want to keep a savings and checking account at a nationwide branch for whatever reason because you've been with them a long time or you at whatever, but the networking opportunities that you don't get that at these nationwide banks. There's no personal typically, right? The employees there, they're not when you go to a local bank, these people are really dialed into their community, right? That their sole survival is based off of them really being interwoven in the community. Yeah, and you get a lot of flexibility with the smaller banks, especially when if you're looking to down the road if you might want to grow and maybe you need some funding. There's just a lot of options. So, but credit, I would, if you qualify. So, like some credit unions have certain qualifications, like maybe you have to be a worked for your local state government at some point, or you were a veteran. Like if you have a credit union and you're getting good benefits from that, like a lot of times you'll get really good interest rates for purchases, vehicles, houses. So I can 100% see being with a credit union. Just try to, and maybe the one you're at doesn't have the best branch manager. Maybe you need to like maneuver over to a location where the branch manager is like a real pro. Mhm. The other thing that's not nowadays, I, it's not so important because I don't. Most of you guys aren't really collecting a lot of checks, right? Everyone's paying you digitally. I mean, have a good one, goat. I mean, I would say if you do get a lot of checks or you're dealing in other cash or whatever, that's another thing that can be nice with a local bank because you can get a lot more detailed information. And if you have a big local bank, this is interesting too. If you have a big local bank and your clients are in the same local bank, that money becomes always available that the same day, no fee. Um, some banks have that relationship. So anyway, uh, but we don't have to make this. Yeah. So all right. This doesn't have to be all about banks though. At the same time, so Jay Allen, do you have any questions? Have you ever heard? I'll go over it real quick with you. This was part of the bonus. I don't normally get into all these details here. A lot of times that's for like the Rebel people in the Rebel program. But let me share this with you because I think you'll find this interesting. And then we'll probably bounce after that. The way these big ad agencies do campaigns for people is they have 5 phases that where they try to attract customers that in one of the 5 various stages. All right, so here's how that looks. There's the completely unaware. So some of your ads should just be very generic and they're just about your service. And they're going out to the completely unaware client. Follow me on this. It's the person who's not even really thinking about your service at the moment, right? Their life is busy. They sense that maybe something in the house could be better, but they haven't prioritized it. So they're not really they're scrolling through social media, but they're not necessarily searching. And that's where you do what they call aspirational type content. That's where you do like a dreamy before and after, show like some lifestyle benefits, like enjoying a nice cup of coffee, relaxed, peaceful kitchen remodeled, nice, enjoying a spa, bath setting in that brand new remodeled bathroom, and a little bit of storytelling. And what you're doing with this ad is you're planting seeds in homeowners' minds and you're building brand awareness for your company. So that's what's called emotionally priming homeowners. It's getting them thinking like, "Huh, honey, maybe we should remodel our bathroom. I'd really like that lifestyle right there." So that's one stage you want to attract homeowners. The second stage is there's homeowners out there that are what they call problem aware. And these are people that they know that their crap ain't working. There's something wrong with the bathroom. They don't like it. They're frustrated by it. The kitchen just ain't getting it done for them. It's cramped, it's outdated, it's ugly, whatever, broken. So these people are feeling pain. They have frustration and they're talking about it to each other, right? Like, or they're sharing with their coworkers. God, I've got to get a new bathroom. I have to have my kitchen remodeled. So this is where you have some ads that talk about the contrast. So You show the homeowner, like you talk about people that are constantly bumping into each other while they're trying to cook in the kitchen because their kitchen's not laid out right. Or, a dirty, ugly shower that requires excessive cleaning now. It's just so old, it's mildewed, it's a problem. You're showing them people that are just tired of things, chaos. And that post includes some things like, hey, these are some signs that it's time to redo your kitchen, or these are the three things to know that it's time to redo your bathroom, right? They're those types. You'll see these types of posts that people put out there. That's trying to attract the problem aware homeowner. So the goal is to show them their pain better than anyone else, and it make you show them that you can make it solvable. You can fix this for them. Now, the third stage is what's called the solution aware homeowner. And what's nice about this person is they know that they need to remodel, but they don't know who to call. And they're not sure of the process, what's best, right? These are the people that are uncertain. So here's what they're feeling. They're curious, but they're overwhelmed by the whole thing. They're out there, they're Googling, they're talking to friends and neighbors, they're watching ads. And when an ad comes up that talks about a bathroom or a kitchen, they watch it because they're interested. And they're asking their friends, have you talked to so and so? And they're starting to compile a list. They want to compare options. So this is where you post what's called educational and authority type content. You should have an ad every now and then that talks about your unique process. What makes your company better than the other guys out there, right? Like I like to lead with designs, plans, having a process. And you have an ad or two, like you would say, this is what most other plumbing contractors get wrong about bathrooms or repair or service work, right? You're educating the homeowner. And then you show some behind the scenes, maybe of how you go about doing your work. You maybe include a little bit of a guide or some sort of a freebie, like, hey, we'll give you the guide to how to hire the best plumbing contractor or the best kitchen remodeler. And this is your goal here is you're building trust. And it becomes obvious that like you're the authority, you're the company they should really talk to. They might get some prices from somebody else, but you're the guy. Stage 4, these are the people that are like ready to go. It's called product aware. They've heard of your company, but they're not so sure that you're worth it. Like they've heard maybe you cost a little bit more. Maybe you came out and gave them a price, maybe they're like, I don't know. So they're a little skeptical. They're still evaluating. They're starting to look at your reviews. They're checking out your photos. They're questioning your pricing. So these are the type of ad that helps with this when this homeowner's in this stage is what's called proof and comparison. It's like where you show before and after and how you've guided the homeowner, and the homeowner's like giving you a high five or shaking your hand, or they're standing with a thumbs up in their bathroom. Like every now and then you might want to, if you have a personable homeowner, you want to get a photo of them, whatever, doing something silly, and they're jumping up and down with their hands up, in the kitchen, whatever. You add a couple testimonials, and you explain them in a story fashion, and you have something where you're handling objections. You're explaining, hey, this is why we're more like we're an investment. We're the premier brand. And then you maybe have like a frequently asked question video where you help homeowners understand this frequently asked questions that when you're getting phone calls, the homeowner probably asks the same 10 things, like every week you're answering the same questions. Write those down. You put that in a post. You're answering those so they don't have to call you anymore. And then the last stage, that's the person who's ready and they just need a reason to act. Like, why should they call you right now? Right? They want a sign. They need a nudge. Like, honey, it's time to do it. So those are the people you explain, like, hey, I've got limited spots available, or, if you give us a call, we'll fit you in by the end of the year. Maybe you give some sort of a bonus, right? And you want to just trigger urgency without discounting your price. So, all right, that's the cycle. You want to have ads that hit on in every of those 5 areas over time. And that's what helps build your brand awareness. So thank you for paying attention. Yeah, you're welcome. Thank you, Jalen. So this is what if you were to hire a content company, an agency to run ads for you, if they're not asking you about that cycle for the of how to help give them a little bit of content because they're telling you they're going to run different ads, then you might not be. It all depends, Jayon. I mean, when you start understanding the basics and you have a good creator, eh, think of it this way. If I gave you $3 every week and you gave me $10 back, would you still say it's expensive? Or vice versa. Let's say, Jan, you were giving me $300 every week and I was returning $1,000 to you. Yeah, yes, they're all going to be targeting you for sure. The trick is finding the good ones. But what I'm getting at is the way a good advertising campaign works is for every $3 you put in, you're getting at least 6 back, right? So that's an ATM. You would do that all day long. You're going to put another $3 in because you get another $6 back. You're doubling. That's how advertising starts to work. You see, it's an investment because you know you're going to double, you're going to get a return on that money. So it's not it's only an expense when you're playing around, just like, maybe I'll throw an ad out this week. Maybe I'll put out some flyers. But you also have to remember, if you go spend $1,000 and get a bunch of flyers made up, well, over the next few months, that's going to bring in jobs. So what is that $1,000 bringing you back? Probably like $50,000 of work. So I would say you want to spend $1,000 several times a year to get $50,000 back worth of work for door hangers and flyers. Does that make sense? You have to start seeing the connection. So anyhow, yes, sir. But yep. So anyhow, at some day, like when, this is how you get past the stage of having to always have to rely on referrals. That's all this is. This is how the big companies become bigger, right? Like they just start getting their campaigns. That's how they can feed the machine. So, and once you get your campaigns dialed in, obviously the return's better. So, all right. That's everything I have for tonight. Anything else you want to discuss, bring up? Any questions? You want to what's a home? I'm assuming a home filtration system could be what, 2,500 to 5,000 depending on, I guess, the cost of the filtration system itself, or is it 7,500? Like what does it run these days? I'm assuming this house was like a 3-bedroom, maybe not. I don't know. Does that make a difference how much water's coming through? Is it like a 60-gallon water heater? Does all that get factored into these filtration systems? Customer supply. If you had to guess, what do you think they invested in the equipment? Any idea? $600. Wow. Okay. I would have expected it to be more. Fair enough. Okay. So much, much cheaper than what I was thinking of. Okay. Okay. So it won't rust out, I guess, and corrode and react with other chemicals. Okay. Hmm. All right. So not the Cadillac of filters in this situation, what you were putting in. Okay. Yeah. I've Yeah, I guess there are kits in the $1,000 price range for some that would work for most homeowners. Okay. Yeah, a lot of people, get lured into Amazon because it's so easy, right? I mean, I myself will use Amazon at times only because I like how easy it is to return the product if there ever is some sort of an issue. Whereas anyone else that you order from online, if there's ever a problem, like the returning is just such a hassle, right? You usually have to pay extra for this. You got to find some random store that might be 40 miles away from the where you live. Whereas, I mean, for me, Amazon, I can go to the local there's local stores that have Amazon drop boxes. The local UPS accepts Amazon. The grocery store has an Amazon kiosk. I mean, my God, it makes it so easy. But yeah, you're not probably always getting the best quality. Do you have a whole house filtration system for your water down there where you are, Jayon? So you did both installs today? Okay. Yep. You just have the water softener. Okay. Very cool. Well, listen, Jay, what else you got? Primary residence, those more. Yeah, so what do you do in that situation? Did you not do it? Or does he pony up? I guess he went ahead and hired you to do it. He was hemming and hawing about it is what it sounds like. Yeah. Everyone's got to decide what they want to make their problem in life be, right? You want to Meanwhile, I'm sure he probably spends thousands of dollars on some miscellaneous BS and didn't think twice about it. Yeah. No, I mean, it's funny. I run into it a lot with people. I often joke with them about it, like that. Hey, spending money. Nobody ever wants to spend the money on this kind of stuff, right? It's not like you don't get all excited. Oh, I got a whole house filtration system that I'm going to show off to all my friends and put it in my pocket and carry it around. I mean, it's in the it's in the basement, it's in the crawl space, or it's out in the garage. So, but very cool. Yes. Show them lots of very get nice pictures. Become an expert photographer so that they feel like, ooh, la la. Show them all those nice pro press connections you do with your $1,000 Milwaukee tool so that you can be done in 10 minutes when you're under that house. Mm, all good stuff. Okay. Interesting. I thought that was the standard go-to these days for yeah, okay, fair enough. Yes, you are a little old-fashioned. I mean, I understand it's like you trust it. I'll tell you I had to have a boiler installed in one of my units, and the guy that came out, he's a little bit older than me, but I mean, he had he had that nice Milwaukee Pro Press kit, and I mean, I've got like some thick the copper pipe work that he put in for this boiler. It's all because it's you got water coming in, water coming out, going over to the water heater, coming back out of the radiator, going up to the big pipes that feed the radiators. That press connection, that pipe work, the copper is just gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's impressive. But I know it's not cheap to buy those kits. Yeah, but I guess it's like everything. It depends on how frequently you're going to be using it. You know, I think you're going to be switching though. I have a funny feeling that's going to be on your list of tools. Yeah, I mean now that's something you can start. You start adding a few extra dollars to every project in 2026 for your. You call it your ProPress fund. I don't know. Add like 10, $20 to every project you're estimating, and then you know after a couple months, you put whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not that you can't do it the way you're doing it, but my God, I do think there's got to be a time savings. But maybe I don't know. You'd have to figure. But I, the work is beautiful when it's done that way. I will say that. All right. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? At the end of the day, I'm joking. You don't have to have every tool. You know what I'm saying? Some guys can keep their vehicles. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny. I know some guys will always just do the simplest way. They have the bare minimum tools. They just know how to work things. And then you got other people that want all the tools. I mean, it's not like one way's the right way or the better way or whatever. So, all right. Well, listen, Jay, you have an awesome night tomorrow or later tonight, rather. I should be coming on. I have to be on earlier tomorrow. We are going to be talking about marketing again. So tomorrow's day 90. So we'll catch you, but it's going to be earlier. I got an event I have to go to really early Sunday morning. So, all right, you have a awesome night. Thanks for the comments. I appreciate you sharing. All right, brother. Take care.